Hey guys, welcome back. I'm Kiana M. Lundy, Transformational Life Coach with Internal Realization LLC. And today's topic is, how far can you walk in your neighbor's shoes? Now, I know you may or may not know what it is to walk in someone else's shoes physically. If you were to try your neighbor's shoes on, it might not be a comfortable thing. You might not be able to walk too far because their foot might be bigger than yours or smaller than yours. If your shoe's too tight, I know I personally have experienced wearing some tight shoes. It's not comfortable, right? You cannot get too far. So, figuratively, the same thing applies. So, we live in a society where our primary focus oftentimes is ourselves, right? So we view our life from a perspective of how the world impacts us. And in doing so, unfortunately, we miss or fail to consider what our fellow man is going through, because we're looking at the world from a singular perspective. So let me give you an example. You email your boss. You email him because you need to put in for vacation time. And you're planning this vacation and you need for him to respond because you need to purchase plane tickets, right? So you're waiting, no response. You're waiting, you call, no answer. So immediately, you're like 0 to 60 in 2 minutes. You're going off because it's like, how dare he not respond to this email? I am trying to book my plane tickets. He knows how important this is. I need my time off. I've worked this job for XYZ amount of years. And how dare they not respond to me? Right? We've done it. So, you go off. You're pissed off because, you feel like this guy, is trying to play you, right? So, but then you don't take the time to see things from some other possibilities. Like, why, maybe the boss didn't get the email, or maybe they're out. Maybe they're busy. Maybe they're waiting for HR to unlock time, or say it's approved or whatever. There's other things that could be a possible explanation for why your boss did not respond. Pastor Stephen Furtick and his wife Holly Furtick, they gave a phenomenal sermon series on, it's called Meant to Be. I mean, it's actually about marriage, whatever, but I feel like they gave a couple of points that it could be applied to any type of relationship, right? They said to assume the best from your spouse. So, in other words, assume the best from people. Do not assume that everybody is out to be a jerk and to hurt you. Like, it's not always the case. People are going through things every day. People are experiencing things, and some things are out of their control. Some things they can control. We have to learn how to show grace and mercy to one another the same way God shows us every day. It's a vertical and horizontal thing. So we vertically receive grace and mercy from God, and we're to extend it out to others on a daily basis, right? So Ephesians 2:8-9 says, "For it is by grace you have been saved through faith, and this is not from yourselves, it is the gift of God, not by works, so that no one can boast." So in other words, you didn't do anything to deserve that grace. You weren't a model citizen. You were not employee of the week or anything else to deserve God's grace. So why can't you show that to other people? Give grace to people that God gives to you. Give mercy to others as God's shown you mercy. Right? So let me pose another perspective. So we know that the boss maybe really truly doesn't like you, right? They truly don't like you, whatever it is, that it's something in them that you just don't float their boat. So you need to forgive. I know it's easier said than done, but in this case, if you know someone is intentionally, you have proof that they are intentionally trying to get you, forgive them. It's not necessarily something that is for the person as much as it is for yourself. Forgiveness is so important because it just gives you the freedom from the negativity, from the stress of being angry when that person walks by. It takes a lot of energy. I don't know about you, but I have no energy to hold grudges. I cannot. Call me lazy, but walking around with my face all tied up and everything because I'm mad that you did something, I can't do it. So, forgiveness is so key in our own peace, just to have peace in ourselves on a daily basis, and that is forgiveness. You let go of whatever it is that someone did, and just understand that whatever their reason for doing it, it's not for you to understand it. Just let it go. Let it go. It could be something that, you might have triggered, something about you that reminds them about someone that they had some previous hurt from, and they haven't yet gotten over it. And so you just triggered them. Whatever the case, show forgiveness. Ephesians 4:32 says, "Be kind one to another, tender-hearted, forgiving one another as God in Christ forgave you." Again, vertical, horizontal. God gives you that forgiveness every day. You know that you tripped out you're on a trip every day and you're doing all kinds of things that you don't want to discuss in public. So you've been forgiven. You're not perfect. We're all flawed creatures. We all do things that fall short of the glory of God. So just give others that same grace, that same mercy, that same forgiveness on a daily basis is so important for our walk, our freedom, our spiritual growth, our health even. Do you know how much that takes minutes of life off of you when you're walking around harboring hatred and unforgiveness in your heart? Are you prepared to die for that person? They made you that mad that you prepared to be in a grave because you walking around with all this stress on you because you're mad? Think about it. What's the saying? Unforgiveness is like drinking poison and waiting for the other person to die. Really? Come on now. It's not that deep. Get over it. Get over it. So, in other words, I challenge you. Put on someone else's shoes today. See how far you get. I thank you once again for joining me. I'm so happy that you could tune in. And remember, always, always live your best life and be your best self. Take care. God bless.